Hey guys, welcome to the CO visit. Colin here as usual, and always my trusty coffee. Well, really glad that you're here and you clicked on the video. Thank you for watching, and appreciate also the support here on the CO visit. So you know always that we have the super chats and all of that, and there's something special I'm going to mention at the end. Speaking of that, but let me get into the topic first. So stay tuned until the end. Well, as I was watching just a little bit of the update, well, not really an update, but it's the what do you call it? The governing body video for October, and so it's the broadcasting for October, and there was just one part I didn't really see any relevant at all in it or interesting, but there was a part about in the middle of the video that kind of caught my attention a little bit, and that's when Seth Hyatt, the governing body helper, talked about forgiveness, which I thought was interesting. I thought, well, I got to hear this. But it's interesting the way he spun it. And maybe, and I could be wrong. Don't quote me on this or say that I said anything, but maybe this is a little preamble of further lightening up on shunning and disfellowshipping. You know, seeing the way things are going right now with France, with Sweden, we've got the Supreme Court hearing coming up in February, which is going to be live streamed, which will be very interesting. They're going to broadcast it from Norway, so that will be interesting. So what I thought was interesting about it is how he talked about that at some point everybody needs forgiveness. We all need forgiveness from somebody, which is true. And it's interesting that he said that the way God looks at things is much different than we do. Because he said, well, this is what caught my attention, that when a person forgives another person, that is a sinner forgiving a sinner, because we're all sinners, which is very, very interesting. I thought it was interesting. I don't know about you guys. A sinner forgiving another sinner, which is also true, which is why we need to forgive people. Because, you know, when you talk about God and they're talking about how they read a scripture, I think it was in Ezekiel or Isaiah, I think it was, where they say that, listo, llévelo. Sí, no, llévelo. Llévelo. Ahí casi no lo usamos. Se lo está guardado, ahí más bien se está poniendo duro. Entonces, úselo mejor. Si lo puede usar, listo. Check it. So, anyway, just a neighbor of mine. So when they talk about God's ways and God's thoughts being higher than ours, that's why, since God doesn't need forgiveness from anybody, that's why it's very important for us to forgive. And that's why we're commanded to forgive. It's not a suggestion. It's not a, well, you should. It's a commandment. And if you look at the fact that when we talk about God's thoughts being higher than our own, and, you know, his ways being higher than our own, in God's eyes, sin is sin. There are no levels of sin. A sin is a sin. Okay? Whatever way you might sin, whether it be murder, whether it be lying, whether it be stealing, whether it be doing something dishonest in business, it's all the same. It all separates us from his glory. Okay? So, very interesting that he brought that up, because, as I said, in an indirect way, maybe he's positioning the rank and file. He's kind of working in this idea that, you know, we should just forgive. We shouldn't be judging people. And that's why It says it in the Bible. That's why, brothers and sisters, those of you who are active witnesses out there, this is why you need to really analyze the Jehovah's Witness belief system. When they suddenly have a change or they bring out new light, and it's something that's in the Bible all along. It was always there. It's not that God revealed it to you little by little. It's just that your doctrine was wrong. It's that simple. Very, very simple. And that's why Jesus told us over and over and over again, and in the letters of the apostles, that it's not our place to judge. Don't judge. Because we're all sinners. The only person who will judge is God. Now, that's the reason why, for example, in churches, okay, and it's not, Jehovah's Witnesses are not the only ones that do this, but when a person is involved in some type of wrongdoing and it gets found out, okay, whether it be Jehovah's Witnesses, whether it be Baptists, evangelicals, Pentecostals, any church, any Christian religion out there, they have procedures and they have ways of dealing with it and they have discipline. That's not new. All the churches have that. The difference is that in the Jehovah's Witness religion, when a person, let's say, doesn't believe that they need help, or they're unrepentant, or whatever the case may be, you get kicked out of the church. You're not allowed to participate there anymore, and people will not talk to you or associate with you at all. You see, that's the difference. Getting privileges taken away, all that, all the churches do that. In other churches, for example, there's many positions and privileges that you can have. For example, you can be a singer, you can be a dancer in the church, you can be a leader of a youth group or a men's group or women's group or any of those things. You can do Bible studies with children. You can be an evangelist, which is someone who gives talks, preaches, right, in front of the church. And, of course, pastors and all of those people. So there's all these different positions. And obviously, if you've committed a very serious sin, and especially if you're not repented, they're going to tell you, and the pastors of the church are going to say, you know what, you better step down for now. We're gonna have you step down, but nobody will tell you you can't go to the church, and nobody will stop talking to you. You see, the doors are always open. The arms are always open. When a person wants to reconcile with God, but the thing is, you see the difference, brothers and sisters? When you say that your relationship, your communion with Jehovah God means being there at the Kingdom Hall and being able to associate with others and being able to have privileges and all of that, you see, you can't take that away from people then. Yes, you can say, oh, well, you know what? You can't be up in front of the congregation. You can't be giving talks, things like that, saying prayers in front of the congregation until you reconcile with God. Fine. But you can't stop people from going there. And you can't stop others from talking to that person, because that's what helps the person to come back, is others talking to him or her, is others welcoming them always, talking to them out on the street, talking to them wherever, giving them a phone call. It's not cutting them off. That's not what the scriptures say. So that's what, Jesus was saying is, if someone's sick, if someone has sinned, then help them. Pray for them. Put your hands on them. Witnesses don't do that. They don't do that. So I thought that was very interesting the way he said that if we forgive another person, it's just sinners forgiving sinners. I think that's setting things up for a possible further readjustment and new light about the treatment of removed members. But we'll see what happens. So anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about today. So what was I going to mention at the end of the video here? Well, I finished writing my story, writing my book. So the not including the cover page and all of that, it has approximately 150 pages. Okay, it's already in PDF form. And if anybody would like to read it and give me feedback on it, tell me what you think of it, tell me what you enjoyed about it, or any type of constructive criticism, because this is a several volume story. So the first one I wrote right now is like volume 1, okay, but it's going to be continued on. That's the idea. You'll get that idea from the story, okay? Kind of an open ending. So it's going to have several volumes in this particular story. So I'm already finished with volume 1, which is this volume in itself. This entire work is called the Cosmic Fate series, and volume 1 is called Cosmic Destiny. Okay, and if anybody, just down in the comments, leave me your email, and I'll send you a copy. And if anybody for the copy would like to make a small voluntary donation, feel free to leave a super thanks. Okay. I did put a lot of effort into it. This is a work that's been a part of my life for a long, long time. Many, many, many decades. So it flowed very, very quickly, all the information that was in it. But still, it took me a couple months to write this book. Okay. So if you would like that, as I said, it's not contingent on a donation. If you really want to read the book, just leave me your email. I'll send it to you. Okay? And I hope you enjoy it if you want to read it. Okay. See you guys in the next one. Be blessed.